Good afternoon, ILM.
With principal photography on Forrest Gump now complete, the ILM team members return to their Northern California home. Here, they will complete the Oval Office scene between Tom Hanks and JFK.
We had to remove this woman, whoever she is, in the white dress and replace Tom where she is. And what's got me concerned is as she comes in front of Kennedy, she's blocking so much of him that I don't know how we're going to replace Tom in there without still seeing her.
The effects team must first extract Kennedy from the archival shot. The first step is to rotoscope the president's image in each of the scene's 465 frames. Tom Hanks' image must also be extracted. This process is much easier as the blue screen background isolates his image photographically, eliminating the need for the time-consuming rotoscope process. Next, Hanks and Kennedy must be integrated into a shot of the Oval Office background.
So we've got probably pieces of film taken from years apart, trying to match them all and still make them look like the same moment in history which never took place.
Ken Ralston works with computer graphics supervisor George Murphy on the daunting task of getting Hanks and Kennedy to shake hands.
My biggest concern is that we need to really paint out the way that thumb sticks up in the air and make the fingers wrap around.
So Kerry's going to paint JFK's thumb over Tom's hand so it looks like they're actually holding each other's hand.
Right, he'll paint it back through so it comes through, and then try to make his fingers wrap back around, morph those.
We had to basically glue their hands together with the use of the computer by manipulating the positions of the arm and the hand positions and painting like JFK's thumb on top of Tom's hands so like they were clasping.
While the handshake is completed successfully, the scene's most difficult shot requires Kennedy to speak dialogue written by a screenwriter instead of a speechwriter.
I believe he said he had to go pee.
Unfortunately, the plan to use the mouth movements of the Kennedy stand-in for this shot proved to be impossible.
The bathroom is there.
We realized it wouldn't work, that it made them look completely different when we took these guys' mouths, even though they were pretty good lookalikes, and put it onto any one of these historical figures. It changed their looks completely.
The effects team determines that the lip-sync shots for the presidents can be achieved only one way, by digitally manipulating their mouths frame by frame.
I think part of it is, once I painted a new lip position, and once we see the inside of his mouth, it'll really help make that real very distinct.
This assignment is given to effects art director Doug Chiang, whose masterful work on Death Becomes Her won him an Academy Award in 1993.
I volunteered to do it because it was kind of a new process, and I like the challenge of trying to do something new, even though there was a high risk of failure. I decided to take some pictures for lip reference so that I can see what each lip position is doing at each vowel and consonant, and then I use them as just visual reference while I'm animating. I have a question for you as far as his teeth. I've introduced a little bit of his teeth in the bottom right in here. I want to see if that's okay with you or if you think that's a little too much.
That's a great smile.
Using his reference materials, Chiang targets key frames which convey the extreme mouth positions needed to make each sound. He is able to digitally maneuver the lips, cheeks, tongue, and chin with computer-generated handles called splines.
I go through and I determine my keyframes here based on the timing sheet that I did of a soundtrack. So I've broken it down to major syllables, and I've sort of animated these splines accordingly, set on these keyframes.
By using the digital transformation process known as morphing, Chiang has the computer generate all of the in-between frames.
The nice thing is there's some nice cheek movement, which is really helping the shot. The type of morph that we're doing here is actually a little bit more subtle in that we're changing specific features on a person. We're taking just the one image and slightly altering it, changing the movement of that one image.
Remember, he will be 80 feet tall and 200 feet wide at the big screen.
For the scene to hold up to big screen scrutiny, the mouth morphs must be carefully married with the new and archival footage. The result is an unforgettable fictional moment in history.
Congratulations. How do you feel?
I gotta pay.
With the Kennedy scene finally complete, along with similar sequences featuring Presidents Johnson and Nixon, the ILM team has successfully placed Tom Hanks in 3 distinct American eras.
Hotel. It's brand new, very modern.
Now you know the secret. Of course, you can't do it, but you know the secret.
These presidential scenes contain just a few of the 120 special effects shots hidden in Forrest Gump. Surprisingly, while the digital dinosaurs in Jurassic Park filled the screen for a mere 6 minutes, Gump's subtler effects are on screen more than 4 times as long. In the end, 150 of ILM's digital artists logged more than 50,000 hours to complete the film.
It was a great experience overall, and I think we expanded the palette that directors can use on films in a lot of ways.
Despite ILM's success at combining new and old footage, some will question the practice, claiming image manipulation techniques could be used less innocently than they were on Forrest Gump.
Really, photography's never been proof of anything. We've all just sort of wanted to accept that with Forrest Gump, I think we've taken it down another step to say, well, unless you know the history of a piece of an image, you don't know if it's real.
In Hollywood, it's what people think is real that counts. And thanks to digital technology, it's increasingly easier for effects artists to fool audiences.
I'm beginning to see it though, Bob. I'm beginning to see the ball.
Whether it's the folks at R. Greenberg bringing back an old friend, the team from Dream Quest creating a posthumous curtain call, or the wizards from ILM rewriting American history, Hollywood's top effects artists are always happy to provide a blast from the past.
Hey.
I believe he said he had to go pee.